You?
No, I didn't know. So after the fight had happened, we in the locker room. I think I had just finished changing up. We on the way to the post press or whatever. My father said, "You know, he tried to bite you in there." I said, "What?" I'm like, "It's no like if you in the ring with somebody, you're gonna notice that."
But wow, my eyes was burning, and you know, like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified.
Lamont Roach and GervontaDavis have started their rematch preparations after their first face-to-face meeting. During the encounter, they exchanged heated words. They met to finalize the details of their rematch and also attended a short press conference. Both fighters sat together and took turns answering questions from the interviewer.
That's when he tried biting me. I ain't even noticed that till somebody said something. Somebody said he tried to bite me. I ain't know.
Why not? What you talking about? They like, nah, he gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, that's how.
Eventually, this turned into a big risk as GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach kept exchanging heated words. Although they didn't get into a physical fight, the trash talk was intense. Lamont Roach repeatedly emphasized that he was different from other fighters and warned Davis not to be too confident about defeating him. On the other hand, Davis, also known as Tank, insisted that his last fight was just a bad day and that in their rematch, Roach would be knocked out cold. In response, Roach fired back, saying, "It's going to be a firefight. I'll break you down."
Oh, whoa. It's another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson.
Nah, that's crazy. That's what he do. He get dirty.
Since the fight ended, Roach has appeared several times on the Big Time podcast to discuss the match. He continues to push his belief that he should have won instead of the fight being ruled a majority draw. His statements have helped keep the conversation about a possible rematch alive. Roach has also been very active on social media. On March 18th, he posted something that seemed to annoy Tank's fan base, likely exactly what he intended to do.
No, I didn't know. So after the fight had happened, we in the locker room. I think I had just finished changing up. We on the way to the post press or whatever. My father said, "You know, he tried to bite you in there." I said, "What?" I'm like, it's no like if you in the ring with somebody, you're gonna notice that.
Roach took to X to express his confusion over the backlash he was receiving, writing, "On some real stuff, why are some of you mad? A lot of people think I won the fight. I'm confused, gang. What's going on? Did I do something to you guys?" His post quickly gained traction, racking up over 21,500 views and 425 comments in less than 2 days. This seems like a classic case of a fighter stirring up an opponent's fan base to generate hype for a rematch. Judging by the post's engagement and the flood of Davis fans in the comments, it clearly worked. Speaking on the Come and Talk to Me podcast, Roach revealed that after the fight, he tried to call Tank regarding a reported bet they had made before the match.
So Lamont, I watched your feedback. You broke it down round by round. There was this one part in this video that was kind of going viral the other day where you said it looked like Tank was trying to bite you. Yeah. I'm like, what was that? Like, did you notice that in the moment? I saw you said that in your, in your feedback. What was that moment?
Look, man, I'll tell you, I called his phone. He must have changed his number or something because I didn't get a response. Maybe he's just doing his thing right. Now, I called him. Then I DM'd him and told him, "I called you, call me back." I didn't even bring up the money. I just wanted him to call me back. Meanwhile, Gervonta Tank Davis managed to hold on to his WBA lightweight title by the slimmest margin on Saturday night, fighting to a majority draw against Lamont Roach Jr. The bout was filled with intense action, including a highly controversial moment in the 9th round that many believe should have handed Davis the first loss of his career. Despite the controversy, the 30-year-old unbeaten southpaw could finally breathe a sigh of relief when the final scores were announced after a tightly contested 12-round battle.
At the ringside, Eric Marlinski scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of GervontaDavis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
The one ringside. Judge scored the fight 115-113 for Davis, while the other two had it even at 114-114, ensuring that the three-weight champion from Baltimore remained undefeated. The biggest controversy came in the 9th round when Davis voluntarily took a knee near his corner and leaned over the ropes, seemingly looking for help with an issue in his eye. Under the unified rules of boxing, if a fighter touches the canvas with anything other than their feet, it is considered a knockdown, which should have cost Davis a point or even led to a disqualification for his corner interfering mid-round. However, referee Steve Willis allowed Davis to continue after only issuing a stern warning, a decision that likely changed the fight's outcome. The sold-out crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center made their frustration clear when Davis later claimed his vision was affected by grease from his hair. "It should have been a knockdown," Roach said.
Like, cause we right there. But when I actually went back and looked at the fight, I was like, this motherfucker really did try to bite me. Like, that's what at least that's what it looked like. You can ask him, or you can, if you play the clip and you look at it, it definitely looked like he just tried to bite me and missed or some shit. Like,
Roach believes that if the 9th round incident had been ruled a knockdown, he would have won the fight. If that was a knockdown, I would have won the fight. He's saying grease got in his eye, but if he takes a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown. It is what it is. I'm not relying on that moment to win. I just thought I did enough overall, Roach said. Roach was granted special permission to keep his WBA title at 130 lbs, while moving up to face Davis at 135 lbs. However, he fell just short in his bid to become a two-division world champion against an opponent who entered as a massive 120 favorite. During the 9th round, GervontaDavis took a knee, a moment that remains a major talking point from the fight. "I think I pulled it out in the last 3 rounds for sure," Davis said. "I was landing clean shots and felt I was breaking him down as the rounds went on. But he kept coming, so I stayed cautious to avoid mistakes."
well, that was crazy. So when he told me that, I was like, nah, he ain't try to bite me out, tripping. But when I looked at it, I was like, damn, they tried. And then even
trying to bite you where? Pause.
On his neck.
like
you
like
seen
my
it?
neck,
Yeah.
like ear.
I didn't notice. I seen him hit you with a shoulder one time.
He tried to put his glove up.
From the opening bell, Roach showed no fear against the heavily favored champion. The 29-year-old from Washington, D.C. remained calm, using his movement and counter-punching to prevent Davis from finding his rhythm. Davis, known for starting slow, spent the early rounds feeling out his opponent, but his usual patience bordered on inactivity. Roach took full advantage, landing sharp right hands and winning most of the early exchanges. Their history as former amateur rivals seemed to work in Roach's favor, as he looked more composed and confident, even when Davis began increasing the pressure in the middle rounds. A powerful right hand in the 6th round signaled Davis's awakening, but Roach took the shot well and stood firm. In the 7th, Roach landed a clean, straight right that stunned Davis, forcing the champion to tie up. With growing confidence, Roach started dictating the pace, throwing combinations, and making the fight far more competitive than many had expected. Instead of a one-sided bout, it turned into a fierce back-and-forth battle.
Yeah, like,
Oh, niggas wild.
nah, it was crazy.
Oh, niggas.
It was crazy.
Did you see that, Naj, too? You seen that?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the moment, but when I looked at the replay, I'm like, damn, this vampire in Brooklyn right now. It's a little suspect.
I think the commentator said something about
Yeah,
that.
they said something about it too. Like, they was like, here's another comparison to Mike Tyson.
In the 8th round, Roach landed a massive counter right uppercut that briefly wobbled Davis, proving he could take the champion's best shots and fire. Then came the 9th round, the moment of controversy. After taking a left hand from Roach that didn't seem to land with full power, Davis unexpectedly took a knee. Whether it was due to fatigue, a misplaced mouthpiece, or something else, the moment should have been ruled a knockdown. However, Referee Steve Willis only issued a warning, allowing Davis time to recover. Frustrated, Davis came out swinging, throwing heavy punches, but Roach absorbed them and kept moving forward. By the championship rounds, Davis was lunging forward, throwing wild shots while Roach remained composed, countering with precision. In the 11th round, Roach secured the round with a sharp counter right, outworking a visibly frustrated Davis. With only 3 minutes left, Davis, known for his late-fight heroics, tried one last time to lure Roach into making a mistake. But Roach stayed disciplined, sticking to his game plan, making Davis miss and landing just enough punches to stay in control.
Like, totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a...
Both. Fighters immediately called for a rematch after the fight. I definitely want to do it again, Roach said. According to CompuBox, he landed 112 out of 400 punches, 28%, while Davis landed 103 out of 279, 36.9%. I'll be back on the big stage where I belong, Roach added. Davis, however, believed his own performance made the fight close. Not anything special from Roach. To be honest, I made the fight competitive, Davis said. Lamont is a great fighter. He has skills and power. I learned a lot from this fight. Shout out to Lamont Roach and his team. Hopefully we can do it again.
I heard that 114. I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay.
A rematch between Davis and Roach is expected to happen soon, with an official announcement likely in the coming weeks. Reports suggest the fight could take place in May or June. Meanwhile, the New York State Athletic Commission has upheld the majority draw result from their first fight, despite the controversy in the 9th round. According to a ruling obtained by ESPN on Friday, Roach's protest was denied. The commission explained that since the fight continued for more than 3 full rounds after the referee ruled no knockdown, both fighters had time to adjust. As a result, the referee's decision was not considered a determining factor in the final outcome.
With the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even
Davis, one of boxing's biggest stars, took a knee in round 9 after a series of punches from Roach. Referee Steve Willis started counting, but when he reached 3, he stopped and did not rule it a knockdown. In its ruling, the New York State Athletic Commission stated that after a detailed review of the footage, the correct call should have been to declare it a knockdown since Davis's knee touched the canvas. However, the commission also noted that the decision was ultimately up to the referee's discretion. The ruling further explained that even if a knockdown had been called, it would be impossible to determine whether the final 3 rounds would have played out the same way.
Right. But you said you don't think he willing, though.
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get...
The New York State Athletic Commission stated that making a decision based on speculation would set a bad precedent and would not ensure a fair outcome after the fact. The ruling confirmed that if referee Steve Willis had called a knockdown, Roach would have won by decision. However, instead of securing a historic victory and becoming a 2-weight champion, Roach had to settle for a draw. Davis entered the fight as a massive favorite, 20,000, according to ESPN Bet, making Roach's performance an unexpected challenge. Despite the commission's decision, Roach and his team remain disappointed with the outcome and the lack of action taken. However, they appreciate the support from the boxing community. Lamont is confident that a rematch will end with a victory. But until then, he is the people's champion at 135 lbs. Roach's attorney, Gregory M. Smith, told ESPN.
It's gonna be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref. You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next.
After the fight, Davis, who is from Baltimore, explained that he took a knee because grease from a hair treatment on Thursday got into his eyes and burned them. During the round, Davis's corner was allowed to wipe his eyes with a towel, which is not allowed under the rules. Only the referee has the authority to pause the fight. Davis is often praised for his ring IQ, as he usually takes the early rounds to analyze his opponents. However, against Roach, he seemed to struggle to find his rhythm. After the fight, Roach received a lot of support. His friend and Davis's rival, Shakur Stevenson, praised his performance and even offered to fight him next. While that matchup makes sense, the fight fans really want to see is a Davis versus Roach rematch. Roach's performance raised doubts about whether Davis is truly unbeatable, making a rematch even more exciting.
When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
Amateur rival of Davis was the biggest story after their controversial majority draw at Barclays Center. As a 1/600 betting favorite, Davis suffered the first blemish on his professional record. On Monday, the New York State Athletic Commission stated that they requested a video replay but were unable to review it in time due to a technical issue. Despite the result, Roach remains the WBA champion at 130 lbs and is ranked number 6 at lightweight by ESPN. Meanwhile, Davis, 30, is ESPN's number 1 lightweight and number 8 pound-for-pound boxer. The upcoming rematch between Davis and Roach has captured the attention of the boxing world. Even Ryan Garcia, who fought Davis in April 2023 and lost by 7th-round TKO, has weighed in on the fight and is closely following both fighters' careers.
With a towel, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight
I don't like knockouts, like punishment, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things got to happen to make you get back to where you belong at, you know what I'm saying? And that was a good, skillful ass.
To a split decision win for Lamont Roach. He was robbed. The knee hitting the canvas should be a knockdown. The face getting wiped should be a DQ. They didn't use replay, apparently. And we're going to talk to Keith Eidig about all this, but there is replay in New York. And a fight that was kind of viewed as an afterthought would now be a gigantic rematch and one of the biggest upsets of the past, 10, 15 years, 16-1.